Welcome back to the sewing room. We're going to make us something very simple today. Simple, super simple, easy peasy, quick project. This pattern was gifted to me by the designer. This Jaquita Designs. Jitka. I don't know how you pronounce her name. It's not a J. It's Jitka Design. Okay? She gifted this to me, and we're going to make it. It's a small or a large. It comes in 2 sizes. Simple shopper. Okay? This you can take to the farmers market, and it's time for farmers markets to start opening and us to go start looking for our produce, and it's time that we make us a handy dandy reusable shopping tote, one that's not real big or would be too heavy if we put our things in it, right? Okay, what you need for the body for a small is a 1/2 yard, for a large is 3/4 yard. And the optional contrasting handles would be a fat quarter for each one. Okay? That's what it says. The large is 13 by 12 by 7. And the small is 8.5 by 9 by 5. So what size y'all think we ought to make? A large or a small? I'm thinking a large. I don't know why. Just figure you might as well go ahead and make it bigger, right? Just in my head. We'll grab one more fabric right here so we can contrast our handles. And I've got these 2. This one right here's got lots of herbs on it. Rosemary, dill, chives, oregano, sage, parsley, thyme. Is that all of them? Basil, cilantro, oregano, dill. I think that's all of them. Okay, but anyway, that's what this is. Sit upside right for you all. It is. And I've got this just dark green that goes real pretty with it. See? Don't those look pretty together? Alright, so we're going to follow along just exactly in her directions. I have never made one of these. Okay? First time. And we're going to see just how simple this is. She says it's an advanced beginner pattern. Well, I've been sewing all my life. I'm a little more than advanced beginner. I'm more of way advanced. But being said, the directions ought to be very simple. They ought to be very easy to follow. And easy for me especially to be able to figure out exactly what she's telling us to do, right? So, we're going to jump into this and see what we've got. See how easy peasy this is going to be to make. Okay, basic instructions. It's your first page right here. Basic instructions. Read all instructions before stitching. Alright, so here we go. Seam allowance is 1/4 inch unless otherwise stated. Back stitch at the beginning and end of all seams to secure. That's kind of, we do that anyway, right? And it shows what's supposed to be the wrong and the right side of the fabric according to her, pictures. Alright, and it says our supplies and materials. We need fabric, and she says quilting cotton. This is a little heavier. This is more of a canvas duck fabric. It's not real heavy canvas. I like this weight to make aprons out of a lot of times. It's a little heavier than quilting cotton, but it's not a heavy canvas. Okay, it's just a medium weight canvas. Thread, rotary cutter, cutting mat, marking pen, ruler, pressing mat, and iron, and a snap if we're going to put the optional strap on it. Okay, so we've got all of our supplies. We've got everything we need. Alright, for the large shopper, we cut 2 pieces 18 by 20. Alright, so let's cut this. Let's make sure this is going to be... Let's see, we don't want them to go sideways. 12 20 wide. So that would be across here, 20 wide. So that would be, okay, so I can cut this right here, 18. I'm going to cut this off just a little bit so I have a smooth edge. Okay, I'm turning y'all down so you can watch me. I'm going to just snip this off right here just a little bit so we have a good straight good edge right there. Now then, we need, let's say 18 inches. That's on 38, and 18 would make this come to 20. So right here on this 20 right here on our mat, we've measured that out. And there's our 18. Okay. That was easy enough, wasn't it? Alright, we'll put that over there. Now then, for the handles, okay, this is, I'm going to cut this in two. Okay, I need to make this 20 inches. I'll cut this selvage off. I need to cut, I'm going to pull this down this way so I can cut with my smaller ruler. Okay. Cut this off right here. Let's see. Yeah, we can come into right here with this. Get us a good big wide selvage there. Now then, that says that I'm going to pull it up here till it's on the 40. Okay? So that's on the 40. I'm squaring it up good. Make sure it's good and square. We're going to cut this right here on the 20. Alright. Now then, there's our two pieces. Right here's our two pieces that are 18 high. Is that right? Yep, 18 high and 20 inches wide. Okay, there's that. Now then, for our handles, we need two 7 inches by 12 and a half inches. So let's I'm going to line this up right here on the 37. I'm going to cut it straight so we know we've got it good and straight. It's on the 37, so I'm going to come down here on this 30, and that gets us our 7 inches. Alright, put that back over there, and now we need two of them 12 and a half inches. So, line this up right here. On there straight. Cut off the selvage. Alright, now then, we need 12 and a half inches. I'm moving this up so I can cut more in front of me here. Got this on 40, so 30 would be 10, 28 would be 12, and 27 and a half would be our $12 and a half mark. Okay. There are those two pieces. Put that over there for later. I don't think we need it. I think that's all we need. Okay, now we're going to prepare the handles, it says. Place the 7.5 by 12 inch handles right side down on a pressing surface. Fold in the raw edges 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so on each side here, we're going to fold in 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to press that down. Okay, 3/4 of an inch. And you can use a handy dandy seam gauge. Let me see if I can find one. You should have one right in here. That does not always mean things are where they're supposed to be. Just because it's supposed to be in here does not mean that's where I'm going to locate it. Y'all know that already. I have to open up every drawer, right, before I can find what I'm looking for. And then, surprise, surprise, I still haven't found it. Let me look over here. Well, y'all, I've got a blue million of them. I just can't seem to locate them right now. I don't know where they are. They'll turn up when I least expect it, and y'all probably can see them and are probably hollering at me, well, it's right there, it's right there, it's right there. Anyway, we're just going to do it this way. We will just do it like this. 3/4 of an inch. Well, I got a smaller ruler here I could use probably. But we're just going to turn it in just about like this, 3/4 of an inch. Because right there's our 3/4 mark. Right like that. I'm going to take these over here, both sides, both pieces. So you're going to turn it in 4 times, 3/4 of an inch, right like this. Okay? So I'm going to go over there and press these in to the wrong side. This doesn't really have a right and a wrong side, but you want to press them to the wrong side, okay? I'll be right back. All right. Next, it says to fold. Oh, well, let's see. Oh, it says to top stitch. Okay, let's see, did I do that right? Open the, okay, we press it down. We got to read all of our instructions. Open the fold and fold the raw edge to the previously created crease. So right like this. Okay, we're going to fold it in half, and then we're going to fold it again. See that? Just like that. I'm going to put some clips on that to hold it. I have to bring some over. I've got them all over at the machine. To swap out my little baskets. You know, that's what I do. Just swap out the baskets. Okay? This is what we're going to do on all 4 sides. Fold it into the crease and fold the crease. Okay? This makes a double fold. Easy peasy. Her directions are very clear on this. I just kind of skipped on down. I didn't read all of the directions. Okay. Now then, let's do this one. This way we don't have a raw edge. Okay, we've got that folded. It says pin the prepared edges, which I clipped them. You know, you can pin or clip. And you're going to top stitch from the inner fold with a 1/8 of an inch seam. Okay, we're going to come in here, right here on this, on the inside of this fold, not the outside but the inside. And we're going to stitch an 1/8 of an inch, top stitch that all the way down through there. Use thread that matches or for thread that doesn't. That's totally up to you, however you want to do it. This is yours. You do whatever your little heart desires. Okay? All right, I'm going to top stitch these and I'll be right back over here with you. Okay, our next step says press the handles in half lengthwise. That means this way. And we're going to press them to put them wrong sides together according to our picture. Okay, we're going to press them just like this. Okay. And these I'm just going to finger press this. Now then, page 3. Place the two 18.5 by 20 pieces with the wrong sides together. Wrong sides together. We're going to make French seams. This is a great tutorial to learn how to do French seams. When I was making, when my daughter was little, turn it up a little bit. When my daughter was little and I was making all kinds of smocked dresses, because I just absolutely love little girls in smocked bishop dresses. There's nothing cuter in the world. And I made tons of them. I mean, tons of them, because I loved doing the smocking. I loved making the dresses, and I loved how she looked in them. And one day maybe I'll have a little granddaughter and we will smock some more dresses. Maybe. Or at least wear the ones that her mama wore. I'm hopeful. So, I made French seams. French seams are super easy to do. They're perfect if you do not want a raw edge on your whatever it is, your bag, your garment, whatever, and you do not have a serger, and you do not like the zigzag look. You can make French seams, and that way you have absolutely zero raw edges in your project. Okay, you don't have any raw edges at all, and it makes finishing, they just look phenomenal. I love French seams. Since I got my serger, I'm less likely to do French seams just because it's quicker and easier. But if I'm making an heirloom piece, a dress, a christening gown, a wedding gown, anything like that, that I want to be handed down from generation to generation, I always do French seams because they are just so classy and so finished. Okay, so we're going to make French seams. Turn y'all back down here, and the way you do that is wrong sides together, right like this. wrong sides. And you're going to sew right here a 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch seam. Both of these short sides. We're not going the width, we're going the length, the height. Going this way. Is that right? That's what it says. Sew the shorter 18 inch. That would be going that way. Is that right? Or is that my 20? Alright, we'll see. That's my 20. This is the 18. Yep. So, our sides right here, I did cut it straight. I was just double checking. 1/4 inch seam on each side. Right here. Here and here. Straight down through there. Wrong sides together. Pretty sides out. Wrong sides in. 1/4 inch seam. Both side seams. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay. 1/4 inch seams. Y'all probably cannot even see that, but I've got 1/4 inch seams. Both sides. Now then, we're going to trim these and make these 1/8 inch seams. Okay? To do that, I'm going to use my ruler and my rotary cutter and come in here and put my 1/8 inch mark on my seam right up through there, if I can see it. And I'm going to trim this. Right like that. Make sure I didn't cut it through. Nope. Same thing on this side. We're cutting this. Good grief, you all. I can hardly see. Well, that one didn't sew. I wonder why it didn't sew. Let me go back and sew this side. Okay. I got it sewn this time. No wonder I couldn't find the seam. There wasn't one. There wasn't a seam there to find. Okay, let's mark this in 1/8 inch. Up and down where our seam is, if we can see said seam. It's kind of hard. Trim that off. Just like that. This right here will go in the trash. Okie doke. Here we go. Now then, this is what we're going to do. Now then it says, turn the body. Turn the body to the wrong side. Okay, wrong side. I'm going to turn it like this. To the wrong side. See, here we go. You see this? There's our seam right there. Okay? We turned it to the wrong side. Press with a 1/4 inch seam from the previous sewn edge. Okay? So we're going to press this like this. We're going to sew. Okay? So we've got to press this seam to where it is in the center right here. Going to press it. Press it down just like this. Okay? Just like that. I'm going to take it over here to the iron and I'm going to press it. Get it pulled out and pressed just like this. Okay? Just want to make sure you get it pressed all the way out just like that. You can finger press it or, you know, however you want to do it. I'm going to take mine to the iron and I'm going to steam it just a little bit because it'll do better. Because you know, if you press them, they will do better. Okay? So I'm going to press it and then we're going to sew right here 1/4 inch. And this is going to be our finished inside seam. I have a finished seam on the inside and the outside. Alright, there's our inside seam. Look how pretty that is. And there's our outside seam. No raw edges. That is your French seam. It is as easy as that. Easy peasy. Just double seam it. Okay? It also makes it more sturdy because you've got two seams and not just one. Okay? Alright, now then, we're going to create a double fold at the top edge of the body. Okay, we've still got it pretty sides together, wrong sides out. Gonna find our top, and since mine is a one-way design, I want to make sure I get this at the top. I don't want my little plants growing upside down. We're going to turn in 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch, and I'm going to do that with this right here. Slide that to the 1. That way I'll see where I'm folding. See this? There we go. There's our 1 inch. I'm going to put me a clip or something on it to hold it till I get over there to the ironing board. Okay. We're going to do that all the way around. So we're going to do it on this side as well. That probably will just turn in right there 1 inch. Alright, there we go, we've got that. I'm going to put these seams to one side here, okay? Either one, you want them to go one way. Okay, and we're going to measure down this 1 inch. Right there. Perfect. And like I said, if we had a hem gauge, which I have a Blue Million around here somewhere, but you know, they've been, as my granny used to say, all this story about her, she used to say, well, I put it up. And Lord knows if we find up, we have found all of my treasures. Because she was constantly saying, well, I put it up, and now I can't find it. So you all, whenever I find up, that's what all of my treasures are going to be. The same place with my granny's. Granny had all of her treasures put up. So my treasures are all going to be up. Because I've put them up. Like I said, well, they'll turn up sometime along the way. That for right now, they've just been put up. So, you know how that goes. To find up, we found all of our mini treasures. Okay. Alright, now then, we'll take this over there, and I'm going to press it, okay? Because we're going to make a double fold here as well, I'm certain. Yes, we're going to make 2 creases. It says create a double fold on the top edge of the body. To do this, on the wrong side, fold the raw edge 1 inch in around the top of the bag. I've done that, and press in place to create a crease. Open up the fold and fold the raw edge to the crease line. Press to create a second crease. Alright, but it doesn't tell us to sew that, so we're just going to press this, okay? And I'll be back once I get it pressed. Okay, I'm going to turn y'all back down here. It says to unroll the previously pressed edge, and you can see I've got 2 creases right here. Can y'all see that? Let's see better on the wrong side. So I got 2 creases right in there. 1 and 2, okay? We're going to unroll it. Then it says, I'm going to turn it to the right side now, okay? Because it's showing us on the right side. Now then, it says, on the right side, mark 3.5 inches from each side seam. It's this right here. Let me read it. Mark 3.5 inches from each side seam in both directions. So here's this. All right, 3.5 inches. We're just going to use this ruler right here. Do this right here, 3.5 inches, right there. Good blue mark with that tailor's chalk. Turn it over, 3.5 inches, right there. Okay, same thing on this side. Come in 3.5 inches. This is at the top, okay? Not the bottom, but the top, if you've got a one-way design like I do. All right, there we go. All right, we marked it. 3.5 inches on all 4 sides, or 2 sides, 4 sides, whatever. Pin the handles in place, okay? All right, here's our handles, like this. We put it on the 3.5 inch mark. Right here, the center of it goes on the 3.5 inch mark, right like that. So, and then we turn it just like this and put this one right here, okay? Center it right like that. And I'm going to clip mine instead of pin it, because y'all know I don't like pins. I stick myself and then I bleed on everything, and then I've got blood on whatever it is I was trying to make, and then it's a mess, and then, you know, that's just life. Okay? Make sure you get them on there good and straight, just like that. Alright, let's put the other one on. Okay. Just like this, 3.5 inches. Our center point is right there at the 3.5 inch mark. Now then, turn it up like this. Do the same thing on this side. And like I said, we are just following step by step her instructions. Very good instructions, very good illustrations, so that there's no question. See this right here? This right here is showing you how to do that. It shows you, you put it here and then you pull it up this way, okay? So very good. All right. It says do not twist the handle, so you got to be careful not to twist it. And it says to baste the handle 1/4 inch from the raw edge. So that I'm just going to take it to the machine and stitch it, because, you know, it'll just be that much more. So I'm going to go sew this 1/4 inch here to here, here, around to here, okay? I'm going to go sew that on 1/4 inch, and I'll be right back. Okay, got them basted on there. Now then, turn the body wrong side out. Wrong side out. Alright, here we go. Wrong side out. That's what we've got going on right here. Okay? Wrong side out. Just like so. Refold the top edge and clip in place. That means we're going to fold this down twice. Okay? Just like this, all the way around. 1 and 2. Okay? Just like this. I'll go down here so you can see a little bit better. Here again, we're not going to have any raw edges, okay? You can pin this if you've got pins and don't have clips. You can pin this or clip it, either one. She says clip because she probably, like me, doesn't like pins. Alright, there we go. Now then, the handle is pointing toward the bottom of the bag, which it is, just like this. And she shows you a diagram that looks just like this. Just like this, okay? We're going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch from this inside seam right here, all the way around. Back stitching when we start and we stop, okay? To secure all this down good and tight, and there you go. We have no I've got hair in my eye. We have no raw seam at the top edge, okay? So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, now then, we turn the handles up, okay, to the top, just like this. And we are going to top stitch all the way around the top, 1/8 of an inch from the edge, okay? I'll turn it right side out. Okay? Because this time I'm going to stitch on the top, on this side. Okay? And we're going to stitch right here along this edge, 1/8 of an inch in here on the top, all the way through handles and everything, all the way around. Alrighty? And for this, I am going to turn my handles, and I'm putting some clips on them, so that they don't pull up and get wonky, because you want them just to lay flat, just like that. Okay. I'm going to go go stitch it on the top now, right here, 1/8 of an inch through bag and handles. Okay, I'll be right back with that. All right, now then, this is what we have right here. Right here, this is what we've got. Our handles, the top of our bag, the bottom of our bag. Now then, well, let's see what we do next. Turn the bag right side out, which I did that before I stitched it, which, you know, was fun. Make an inward fold 3.5 inches from the left side seam, including the middle of the handle. Press to create a fold all the way through the handle and the back side. 3.5 inches. That's where our line is right here. To the side seam or all the way? Nope, you come all the way in, just like this. See that? All the way in. That's our handle. You see this? Kind of folds in two. See that? Now then, I need to measure 3.5 inches on the bottom, because we didn't measure the bottom from the seam. Where is my seam? Mercy gracious. There's my seam. Pull that out. And let's go right like this and measure in our 3.5 inches from our seam. Right there. Okay, now these two go together. Right like so. There's that one. And there's that one. Okay, I'm going to put a clip on them. Just like that. And up here is where our handle was, the center of our handle. That goes in just like that. Okay. I'm going to take it over there and press it. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, so let me mark my 3.5 inches. This, bring it over to this. You're making a great big pleat on the side here. Okay, that's just what you're doing. Making a great big pleat. Okay. Turn our handle in just like that. Alright, now then, we're going to pretend that we press that, because I'm going to press it in a minute, but I'm going to see what our next step is. And it shows you right here how to mark it and how to fold it and what you want this bottom fold piece to look like, okay? And that's exactly what ours looks like. See? See that? That's our bottom of our bag right there. Y'all, I think we're just about finished. The bottom of the folded bag will lay flat as shown in the diagram. Pin and sew the bottom closed with a 1/4 inch seam. Alright? So I'm going to take this over there and I'm going to press this down and I'm going to sew this across the bottom, all the way across, with a 1/4 inch seam. Through all the layers, just like this, 1/4 inch seam. I'll be right back. Okay, we did that. Now then, on to page number 5 of our instructions, and that's all we've got. It's 5 pages, you all, so we're just about finished. We're just about done, and y'all's battery's at 20%, so maybe we can finish it before y'all keel over on me. Using the ruler and rotary cutter, trim the bottom raw edge of the bag to 1/8 of an inch from the seam. We're making a French seam right down here, you all, just like we did up there on the top. Yes, we are. I'm trying to see my seam. All right. We've cut that. Now then, we're going to turn it. I believe that's what it says to do. Turn the bag right side out. Turn the bag to the wrong side. Push the bottom corners of the bag so the seam lays flat. Turn it like this right here. Oh dear. I did not catch that in my seam. So let's go back and make us a little bit bigger seam because that needs to catch, okay? All the way across there. All right, I'm gonna sew this seam right here again because I did not catch that right there. It was not caught good, okay? So let me go back and stitch this right here. Needs to be stitched right there just a little, went down just a little bit, so I'm going to stitch that. Alright, that was quick, wasn't it? And I'm going to use my scissors because I can see my seam a little bit better other than my rotary cutter and I just made the whole seam just a little bit deeper. Alright, now then, that's easier. I like to trim with the scissors better, just FYI. Okay, now then we're going to turn it wrong side out, just like this. And it says, you want this out, well, I still didn't catch it all, you all. Dang it. I'm going to go there and make me a big old seam. Yes, I am, a big old seam across there. And make sure, matter of fact, I'm going to cut this all the way across, and then I'm going to re-seam it. Make sure I get it all caught. Alright, now then, make sure it's all down in there, and I'm going to clip all this very, very well right here. We're going to try this one more time. Make sure. You got it all in there. Alright, I'm going to try it one more time. Alright, let's see if I got it this time. I think I did. Okay, and it says you want it to lay flat. Just like this. You want to make sure that you get these poked out good on the corners. Okay. This right here is the way this will lay. Just like this. That's what she's showing in her picture. Okay? Just like this. These are laid out flat. This is turned to a good point right here. To a good point right here. All right, now then, you guessed it, we're making a French seam, and we're going to stitch right along here. Okay, we'll read what it says. Turn the bag turn the bag to the wrong side. Push the bottom corners of the bag so the seam lays flat. Press the bottom edge, sew the bottom edge with a 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Well, y'all know I'm going to use 3/8 to a 1/2 inch on this bottom, and I'll be right back. Okie doke. Y'all are at 9%. Hang on, we're about done. All right, now then, turn the bag right side out and press. Press the handles to create a top crease. Okay, so we're going to get us a top crease right here, just like that. And I'm just going to do that with my hand because that'll press. All we need is a mark. We don't need to stitch or whatever, we just need a mark right there. Alrighty, now then we're going to sew on the handles. Mark 2 inches from the top crease in both directions, so the handle's closed at 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to mark this 2 inches down. Okay, 2 inches down on both sides. Is that right? No, just on the inside, just on this side. I'm going to mark it 2 inches. Turn them this way and mark 2 inches. Now then, we fold this in half like this. We're going to make our handles more stable. Fold it right like this. You see our 2 little marks. We had y'all turned up, didn't we? Our 2 little marks right here. And we're going to stitch that. So I'm going to fold this in just like that. Fold this in like this. Just like that. And I'm going to stitch this right along through here. Between those 2 lines, between my 2 marks, I'm going to stitch that closed. It says 1/8 of an inch, so I may go in 1/4 to make sure I get it. And I'm going to back stitch when I start and I stop to secure my seams. All right, here's our little bag. Look at this. That cute little bag. Perfect for the farmer's market. Absolutely no raw seams showing, no serged seams, all French seamed and all closed in hemlines and seamed. Beautiful work inside and out. And she shows you how to fold it here. The very last page, she tells you how to fold it. It says fold each side, including the handle, towards the middle. Okay, toward the middle, including the handle. Okay, fold this side to the middle. Look at there. That just goes together right like that. Alright, now then we fold this down and this down. And if you have put you a little clippy tie on it, but there you go. Folds up very small, very compact, easy peasy. You could probably fold it again. Let's see if you can fold it up this way and tuck it in the handle. I don't think you can, but anyway, you could. It's just easy, small, compact. Go to the farmer's market, whip that out, hang it on your arm here. Carry your produce in it. Good sturdy bag. I love this. I do. I love it. I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. I love all of her directions. They are so easy to follow. This is a very good beginner friendly project. All straight seams. You learn how to make French seams, which once you learn how to do that, they are so easy to do. You'll be doing everything with French seams because they're so easy. There's the pattern. I'll link it, her Etsy shop, in my description box below. She is also where I got the pattern for my temperature quilt houses. That foundation paper piece quilt house pattern. She's the one that designed that. That's where I got that as well. She's got lots of cute little patterns. Go check her out. Like I said, she gave me this and I just love it. This was the first time I made it. First time reading through the directions. Very simple, very easy to follow. And so I'm sure that her other patterns as well will be that quality. Okay? This one, like I said, gives you 2 size options, but honestly, if you're handy dandy and want to come up with your own sizing, you can multiply it, add 2 inches here, 2 inches there, 2 inches here, whatever. Make it however big or small you want it. I don't know that you would want one much bigger than this large unless you're using it as a comfort or storage bag. Oh my goodness, would that not be nice? To have a nice cloth bag to store your comforter in. I know when I wash my sheets and I get them out of the washer, I take both sheets, one pillowcase, fold them, and put them down in another pillowcase. That way I know I've got the entire set of sheets right there in that one pillowcase. And they're so easy to find that way. You're not going, this is this part and this is this part, wonder where this piece is and wonder where that piece is. You've got them all together, all there matched up perfectly, all in one little pillowcase. Or if you so desired and wanted to make little bags for your sheets and stuff, you can do that. But just know that she's got great patterns. Jitka Design, Jitka, Jitka. She's got an Etsy shop. That's where I find it. And so go check her out. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.